Right, let's do question 2a. Given f of x is equal to 3 sine x minus 45 degrees and g of x is equal to 2, sketch the graphs of f of x and g of x on the set of x's below for the domain negative 45 degrees to 360 degrees. So now there are different ways we can sketch this graph, but usually what we do, we can use the table of values, you can use the critical points that we know, right? But let's just discuss. I sometimes start by looking at the parent graph. Let's say I look at the graph of sine x, and then I do the translations from there, or the effects of the parameters a and the effect of the parameters p, the effect of the parameter q. You see that? Okay, you can do that. And also I'll show you how to do this using what? Using your calculator soon after this. Right, um so we know the graph of sine x, this one. We know the critical points, isn't it? Is that is 0. This is its y-intercept, and then at 90 it is 1. Okay, because we have the negative side also, let me just include the negative side here. Right, let's say negative 90 here, negative 90, let me put negative 90 here, is going to be negative 1 somewhere there. Okay, right, and then at 180 degrees is 0, at 270 degrees is negative 1, and then at 360 degrees is what? Is 0. So these are the critical points for this function, right? And then let me just use dotted lines here, right? Okay, these are the dotted lines. Okay, right. And then what about the graph of, let's say, let me call it g of x. Let me use the different name. Let's say this is m of x, let me call it h of x. This is equal to 3 sine x. So what does 3 do to the graph? What does it change? It changes what? Because here you see there's a 3 here. Okay, what does the 3 change? The 3 changes the amplitude of the graph, even the range. Okay, the range is changed. So at negative 90 to be negative 3 here, and then 0 is still 0, then at 90 is 3, then at 180 is 0, and then at 270 is going to be negative 3, then 360 0. So the graph of h of x is going to be like this. That is the graph of h of x. Okay, you see that? That's what we have here, graph of h of x, right? And then the next one, we want to see the effect of this negative 45. What does it do? That is horizontal shift. If it's negative, it goes to the right, graph goes to the right by, like here is negative 45 degrees, the graph goes to the right by 45 degrees. Okay, so I'm going to shift every point on the green graph by 45 degrees. The amplitude is fine, we have managed to change it now. Okay, you see now, so we're doing this part now, we're shifting everything to the right by 45 degrees. Let's just do that. Right, let's shift the points. So this point will shift by 45 degrees now there. This point also will shift by 45 degrees now there. This point will shift by 45 degrees now there. This point will shift by 45 degrees there. And then this point will shift by 45 degrees is now there. Even this point here will shift by 45 degrees now there. You see that? Okay. And then you can sketch the graph, which is like this. You see that? So I have an idea from the parent graph. I've managed to do all these transformations. Okay, managed to do all these transformations to get the graph. Okay, So this may take time also, but now this is the graph that we're looking for, the graph of f of x, this one. You see that? So there's another way you can do this very fast. Let me just take you to the method of what? Of using the calculator. Let's just go there. Let me show you how to use your calculator to find the critical points when sketching a trigonometric function. Right, so like for this function, f of x is equal to 3 times sine x minus 45 degrees. So you go to mod, right? Your calculator may be different from this one, but look for table. In this calculator, table is number 7. In your calculator, it can be number 3. It may be number 3. So you press table. So I'll use 7 for this one here. And then I enter the function, which is 3 sine. For x, I enter alpha, then x there. So it's alpha, then x, then minus 45, minus 45. Okay, and then I close the bracket. That's the function there, and then I press equal sign. So I don't have the second function, so I'll press equal sign so that I can use my my one function, right? And then start. So you're starting from negative 45, isn't it? Up to 360 degrees. That's your domain. And if you check here, you may count in 45 degrees. 0, 45, 90, like that. So you're counting in 45. So your step is going to be 45. But we're starting at negative 45. So enter negative 45. Then where do we end? Press equal sign. Then end 360 degrees. See that? And then your step, you're counting every 45 degrees. So your step is 45. And then we're going to get our points every 45 degrees. So at negative 45, you can see there is negative 3. So you enter that point, negative 45, negative 3. Okay. And then 0 is negative 2, 121. And then 45 degrees here. 5 degrees is 0. You can see there is 0. See that? And then 90 with 90, 2,12, 2,12, that's 90. And then we have 135, 3, 135 is 3. Then we have like that. We do all of them like that, isn't it? 180 is 2,12. 225 is 0. Let me do those 2 points. This one and this one. And then we have, after 225, we have 270 negative 2, 12. 315 is negative 3. Let me just do those 2 points. We have this point and this point. And then the last one, 360 degrees. Where is it? Negative 2, 12. You see that? You see that? You can use your calculator to get your points. It doesn't take time. Then you can sketch your graph after that. All right, I really hope you managed to learn how you can use your calculator to sketch your graph. So any graph, you can use your calculator and then just get your critical points and then you sketch your graphs and get your marks, okay? Right. So now these are the points there. You've just sketched the graph there. And then now, the graph was supposed to look like this and get the marks, okay? That is f of x. And then let's sketch the graph of g of x. Let's sketch the graph of g of x. So g of x equal to 2. What type of a graph is this? Like y is equal to 2. This is what? A horizontal line. A horizontal line. Y is equal to a number. Like y is equal to 2 is a horizontal line. X is equal to a number. That's a vertical line. Okay? This is a horizontal line. Y is equal to 2. See that? So this is the graph of g of x. Okay, and then we get all the marks here. So we're going to meet when we do question 2b.